Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time, but I'm here now. If you've been wondering where I've been, I just finished my first semester of my LLB degree, my Bachelor of Law degree, and that's why you're not seeing so much of me. As you can see behind me there, like I don't even have enough space on my bookshelf to fit my law textbooks. This one over here, this blue and red one, is thick AF, like me. I'm sorry, I had to. Ooh, I make myself laugh. But it's thick AF. I'm on a semester break, so I'll be on semester break for the whole month, the month of July basically, and then I'll be back for second semester in August. Anyways, we're doing a book review today, as you can tell by the title of this video, and I've decided to catch up on the books that I read last year, 2022, that I did not review. And I want to start with this one, Klara and the Sun. So this is one of the first books that I bought when I started reading. So it's one of the first books that I read when I picked up the hobby of reading and collecting books. And I basically just went on Google and typed in the best books for, I think, 2021 or 2022. I don't remember when this book was published. I might be able to tell you. 2021. And then I bought it in 2022. I think I bought it end of 2021 and read it in 2022. And so Kazuo Ishiguro is the author of this book, and he was longlisted for the 2021 Booker Prize. He also apparently has a Nobel Prize for literature, and I thought, okay, this is somebody that is reputable, a great author according to the writing community. He's got a couple of awards under his belt. I'm gonna pick up this book. I found it interesting, the cover of this. Super plain, bright reddish orangish color, with a tiny bit of the sun showing, which is strange because the title is Klara and the Sun, not Klara and the Sky, but it's beautiful anyways. I want to read you the blurb that's at the back here, but first let's look at the length of the book. It is just over 300 pages, 307. That's not too long for me. The font size, that matters to me, so see that, there we go, it's not too thin. And so the blurb says, do you believe in the human heart? I don't mean simply the organ, obviously. I'm speaking in the poetic sense, the human heart. Do you think there is such a thing, something that makes each of us special and individual? Then it goes on to say, from her place in the store, Klara, an artificial friend with outstanding observational qualities, watches carefully the behavior of those who come in to browse and of those who pass in the street outside. She remains hopeful a customer will soon choose her, but when the possibility emerges that her circumstances may change forever, Klara is warned not to invest too much in the promises of humans. Oh, shame. I feel you, Klara. In Klara and the Sun, Kazuo Ishiguro, the author, looks at our rapidly changing modern world through the eyes of an unforgettable narrator to explore a fundamental question. What does it mean to love? And so through this video, I'm going to be talking about a little bit about the plot of Klara and the Sun, and then some of the themes that come through the book. So as you heard from this yellow blurb, one of the main themes of this book is love and the concept of love. It says here, do you think there is such a thing, something that makes each of us special and individual? And that was such an interesting concept for me because the reason that Klara ends up with a particular family that she does end up with is actually an astonishing one, and I won't share it because otherwise it's a huge spoiler. And I just wondered, like, what is it that makes each of us so different? Could I be replaced? Could there be another me? And let's say I got cloned. Would my clone, maybe they look like me, obviously. They would look like me, they could imitate my mannerisms, but could they be loved the same way that the people in my life love me? the same way that my son loves me, for example. And I want to say the answer to that is no. Who knows? I think, like, because I'm studying law, I actually asked one of my lecturers this, which part of the law governs the use of artificial intelligence, and it's apparently cyber law. And I just thought there was no need for cyber law in 1992 when I was born, because there was no AI, there was no artificial intelligence. And the reason that I asked him that was because I'd read a couple of articles that were talking about how AI is going to take over a lot of people's jobs. And I just thought, surely this has to be regulated, because eventually, is it going to come to a place where we can clone humans? Is it kind of come to a place where we can clone pets? How, for example, did the author come up with the idea of having robots be friends with teenagers? Will it come to a point where we are so involved in ourselves and so self-obsessed as we have become with social media and Instagram that children no longer know how to make friends? Children no longer know how to make friends with each other, like human children, that they will be able to purchase a robot to become their friend. I really hope not. So I'm going to be talking about 2 more themes, and the next one is faith and hope. The title says Klara and the Sun, and the sun plays quite an important role in the novel, because Klara, the robot, the AF, artificial friend, needs the sun to nourish her. So she's solar powered. She needs to stand in the sun to get her energy. And so because she gets her energy from the sun, she believes that humans can also benefit from being in the sun. And I sort of tend to believe this, and I'll tell you why just now. And so when her human friend Josie, the girl that she lands up with, is in a predicament, because I don't want to say what the predicament is, she treats the sun as a god and goes to the sun to ask for help. And she goes from Josie's house to a barn, sort of like she's going, sort of like you would leave your home and go to a place of worship or a church or a synagogue or wherever, to ask the sun for help. This, in the same way that the sun helps Klara, she thinks that it will help Josie. And I'm saying that I tend to believe this because we need the sun, guys. We need the sun. I remember when I was deep in depression, one of the things that I was prescribed, other than my antidepressant, was this vitamin D tablet that I took once a week. And where do we get vitamin D from? The sun. The sun. Obviously I needed this vitamin D tablet because the assumption was that you're lacking vitamin D, which is important in the function of other neurotransmitters and hormones that help with keeping you, for lack of a better word, sane. And I'm not gonna, like, my doctor's not gonna prescribe for me to go out and be in the sun because it was a dire situation. But in order for you to maintain your sanity, you need to be out in the sun. I remember I was out at dinner with a friend and I said to him that I didn't like living in Paris because the buildings were so tall that whether there was sun or not, you still couldn't see the sun. You had to actually physically go outside. And it makes sense why the Parisians are so obsessed with their gardens, Jardin de Tuileries and whatever, because if you're in your apartment, you can't get the sun. You can't. And it's depressing. It's depressing. The winters are long in Europe. That's why they go crazy when they see sunshine between July and August. So to some extent, yes, I do believe that you do need to get nourishment from the sun. As for worshipping the sun, I don't know. It seemed to work for Klara. The last theme that I will be talking about is environmentalism. So obviously we've spoken about the sun, that's part of the environment, but Klara is a robot which comes with industrialization, which also means that industrialization comes with pollution. But there's a particular machine they call the Coutings machine, which I don't know what kind of machine it is, but this machine causes a lot of pollution. I think it fixes roads in this story, and while fixing the roads, it is causing a lot of pollution. And people have just sort of, I'd imagine that in my imagination when I'm reading the book, I imagined that the setting of when they're in the city at the shop where Klara and the other AFs were sold, this was like a big city, maybe New York, where there was a lot of pollution, like from a machine that fixes roads, and a lot of noise pollution. And it basically talks about how people have just gotten used to this, or yeah, it's that thing of exposure. If you're exposed to something, I don't even remember the actual name, because we were writing an assignment about this in psychology, but if you are constantly exposed to something, you will no longer pay any attention to it. For example, the birds, if you guys can hear the birds, when I first moved here, the birds were super loud, because I had moved from like where there was just a lot of noise from traffic, car noise. But now, since I've been here, I don't take notice of the birds as much. Does it mean that the birds are not there? No, they are there. It's the same way as if you live in a big city. Does it mean that the cars are not there? No, they are there. You just sort of get used to it. Dear God, I refuse. I don't want to get used to that, because it's a lot of nature around me, a lot of birds. So yeah, and those are the 3 themes of Klara and the Sun. If I could think about how many stars I would give this book, I would really give it 5. The writing is so good. There's so much to cover in this book in terms of the themes, and it's very philosophical, which gets one to think. So yeah, that's Klara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro, winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature. And that's it, you guys. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought of Klara and the Sun. If you like the author, please tell me the other book names from the same author if you know, so that I can get my hands on them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon. I am on semester break, so I will try to give you a video at least for every week that I'm on break, okay?